So in this course, I'm going to be giving you some, as I mentioned, some of my best secret stuff. And speaking of secrets, I'm going to give you one of the best ones right off the top. And it's for me, it's what I would call the hit song equation. It's 3 elements and then 15 other plus other secrets that we're going to go through within this course. But let's start with the 3 elements that I really believe are in every hit song. And that's being a little liberal, but I'm going to say there's at least 2 out of these 3 elements. And if there's 3 going on, then you usually have something which I would call a perennial seller or a perennial song. It may not be it doesn't necessarily have to be a #1 smash hit of the year, but songs that stand the test of time. And you may be taking this course, you may not be someone who feels their music is going to be a #1 chart-topping song of the day, but that doesn't matter. Where a hit song could also be a hit song in a sync perspective or a licensing perspective or a streaming perspective. There's so many artists out there, when I do research on them or I stumble upon them, and I find out that they have hundreds of millions of streams and I've never heard of them before. And that's the era that we're living in today. So there's a lot of fantastic opportunity, but what I'm saying here as far as these 3 elements, it applies to hit songs on the charts, it applies to if you're doing more work for sync licensing, it applies if you are an indie artist and just making cool music. These elements, it all applies. So what are those 3 elements? And here they are. #1, melodic rhythm. And as we're going through this course, each one of these is going to be presented very fully in detail. So melodic rhythm is singularly the most important thing I think is out there. And in subsequent modules, we're going to go right into melodic rhythm and discussing that. #2 is the second melody. And the second melody is basically, it is what it sounds like. And it works on a premise that the brain loves to sing more than 1 melody at a time. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, wait a second. You can't sing more than 1 melody at a time. But your brain can. Your brain actually can sing 4 melodies, 5 melodies at the same time. You have your conscious, what you're singing along with the vocalists, and then you have the subconscious second melody, and that might be a guitar riff, a bass line, a synth arpeggiation, something that is copyrightable and has a melody to it. Remember, a great bass line is also a melody. It's just at a lower register, right? So far we've got melodic rhythm, second melody. Third is a unique lyric or concept, or a lyric that has an emotional impact. So those 3 together, that's my working equation, equals a hit song. Pretty simple, but you'd be surprised how many people don't have this information, or they write and they write and they write and they write and they don't know why their songs aren't reacting. And in my day-to-day work as a music publisher, I'm getting songs in constantly from the writers that are signed to my roster, but also I'm getting songs that are pitched to me from other artists who may want to sign here. And when I sit down and look at these songs and listen to them and have meetings with my writers, there's usually 3 that I can look at these 3 elements, and I can, first of all, it's just a gut feeling for me too. It's like, do I like the song? Does this song popping off the page, do I love it? Or is it just kind of like, whatever? And usually I can drill down into these 3 areas and say, well, you know what? I don't think your song has a locked in melodic rhythm. I don't think there's a second melody. And the lyric concept or the title and the essence of the song lyrically, I've heard it before, or it's not special. So if you have 0 out of those 3 things, I can't work with it. If it has 1, maybe. 2, we're kind of starting to get hot. 3, there's a very good chance that that song is going to be a song that I can work with, and I can get placed, or that if I'm working with an artist, that's going to be maybe their key single off their record. You can add some other things into there as well, which we're going to get to in the secrets part of this course. But I wanted to frame this as far as the essential equation that works for me as far as what makes a hit song. Now, I have some homework for you for this module, for this section of the course, which is I'd like for you to write down your 10 favorite songs. It can be any genre, it can be any decade from any year, it can be any tempo, but preferably the qualification is it really should have been a significant hit of some sort. It can be an Al Green song from the late 60s or 70s, or it can be the latest hip hop song on the charts. It can be a Nine Inch Nails song. It doesn't matter. It can be your favorite punk rock song. But write down your 10 favorite songs of all time. And these could also be songs that you wish that you would have written, or you would have been. If I could have written one of those, well, I'd be happy. So that's your homework for this module, and we're going to swing back to this towards the end, and we're going to then take another look at those 10 songs, and we'll see if we see some of these similarities showing up. So with that being said, on to the next module, and I'll see you there.